This is Andre Banks with Banks Credit Chat, coming to you with an interesting article, and it kind of gets a theme of what we're talking about, how credit is the new money and how everything about credit uh, changes our life. And they're pointing to this fact with this interesting article we wrote from Business Insider by Pulse. And usually me and my brother usually do videos face to face, just talking about different things about credit. But to give you, the most accurate news and continue keeping abreast, because credit is a developing and ever-changing environment, thought of getting some really good articles as well to provide as a basis for that. And this article is talking about how an installment loan is a fixed amount of money you borrow and pay over time, and can be used as a good option if you need cash. And installment loans is it's still developing and debt, but if you need cash, this is pointing to a little contrarian thought process, and it's just worth the time to read it. And I'm going to put a link inside the description of this video. An installment loan is a specific amount of money borrowed that is paid through fixed monthly payments over time. Mortgages, auto loans, personal loans, student loans are a few common examples of installment loans. When you're shopping for an installment loan, you want to pay attention to repayment terms and possible origination fees, in addition to the interest rate. Read more personal finance coverage. When consumers need to borrow money, they have two options: revolving credit or an installment loan. Each type of lending product has its own set of pros and cons. Revolving credit lines like credit cards can be a good way to pay for small loan amounts that you pay in a short period of time. But if you want to borrow a large amount of money and would like to pay it back in fixed amounts over a long period, an installment loan would be a better fit. The reason I'm putting on this, especially with COVID-19 going on, people need cash. If you're able to option this is something to give you a thought process to at least think about from that point, if you're able to do this. In this article, we'll look at different types of installment loans, how to get them, and when they can make sense for your borrowing needs. Here's what you need to know about installment loan. Well, we first go into what's an installment loan. Installment loan is a specific amount of money borrowed that is paid through fixed monthly payments over time, interest including the payments and amount of time it takes to pay back off the loan completely. Several loans that consumers are most familiar with. Installment loans are a few. They just went over these again: mortgage, auto loans, personal loans, student loans. How to get an installment loan? You apply for a installment loan, with just about any bank or credit union. You can also look at online lenders like Lightstream, Sophie, and Avant. Now, me and my brother talked about Avant, and be very aware about it because these interest rates. But in these particular times, if you need cash, there's different avenues to look at, and you may not be so concerned about the interest rate. Sophie is an interesting one because it had its starts in helping refinance with student loans, and now it's just kind of expanded with most of these different banks and moved to this particular now giving installment loans. In some cases, you may be able to take out an installment loan directly from the company that you're buying a product from, like your auto dealership or furniture store. Finally, borrowers can take out short-term emergency installment loans. Payday lending stores are some of the most notorious places for borrowers to get emergency cash. Payday loans can be incredibly expensive, often charging interest rates of 400% or more. Well, everybody pretty much knows the payday loan alternative and how expensive you really never get out of it. But this thing is implying here that they have better rates and stuff like that. Now, as with any debt, it's a loaded gun. You need to be extremely careful about it. But I wanted to bring it to this point into this channel because of the times we live in and how credit is the new money, and it's such an important commonplace in this particular time that we're living in. So definitely worth paying attention. We'll kind of continue reading on how to save money on installment loan, what to look for in installment loan. First thing you want to look for on installment loan is the interest rate you're being offered. Be sure to check with the rate. It's fixed or variable. You'll be able to get a lower interest rate with a variable rate loan, but the rate could also go up over time. If you plan to pay back your loan quickly, a variable interest rate loan could save money, but if you be in repayment for several years, locking in your interest rate with a fixed rate loan may be the best way to go. Next, check to see what origination fees the lender charges. Oftentimes, originating fees are set percentage of the loan amount, but short-term loans may charge a flat fee instead. Shop around or try to find lenders that charge reasonable fees, or preferably none at all. Finally, you want to consider the term length. In general, the longer the term, the more interest you'll pay, but longer term will also typically mean lower payments. So if you're looking to save the most money overall, try picking a shorter term. But if your monthly cash flow is your top priority, a long term could make sense. How to save money on installment loans, the interest rate you offered, how can you improve your credit score, making on-time payment on your credit accounts is a great start. They give a number of different articles here. And I kind of just read this as something to pay attention to. It's got a little other couple links here for different points and proven credit and stuff like that as well. Definitely worth your time. I'm going to put a link inside the description. And with the ever-changing market of credit and the ever-changing world, and as we continue to go on, and with so many people unemployed, I just thought it'd be, my brothers thought it'd be a good idea to talk about different ways of getting some different cash and using credit as a basis to do that. So this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, and we're out.